Women in wrestling.
We did not evolve.
We have always been here.
In the shadows. Waiting, ready, motivated.
And now Ring of Honor places its spotlight on women.
And as we stretch our arms to make space, we inspire.
As we put our babies to bed,
we create fairy tales.
And as we lace up our boots and wear our stilettos,
we chase dreams of gold.
We are strong.
We are athletes.
We are passionate.
We are they.
This is Ring of Honor.
And this is women's wrestling.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Beyond the Bells, where we highlight all the action from the women's division of Ring of Honor and so much more right here on Women's Division Wednesday. I'm your host, Alyssa Marino, joined by ROH Board of Directors member, First Lady of Professional Wrestling, Maria Kanellis-Bennett. How are you feeling, Maria, on this fine Women's Division Wednesday?
I am fabulous and looking forward to this match tonight.
Oh, certainly, you and I both. And of course we do, conspicuous by her absence is our expert analyst, Lufisto. But do not worry, we'll be reunited soon in our next episode. So obviously, it's been a few weeks since we've had a Beyond the Bells episode, and we have a lot to catch up on within the wrestling world and within the ROH women's division itself. But first, we have, as Maria alluded to, a Women's Division Wednesday exclusive match, and it's a huge one. The Hex put the NWA Women's Tag Team titles on the line against the Allure right now. Enjoy.
Welcome everyone to the biggest Women's Division Wednesday we have ever seen. Our first title bout here. We're so glad you joined us. Ian Riccaboni, Caprice Coleman. We're going to take it to Bobby Cruz to introduce our first team.
This is a Women's Division Wednesday exclusive match. It's a tag team match sanctioned by Ring of Honor and the NWA. Set for one fall with a 45-minute time limit, and it is for the NWA Women's Tag Team Championship. Introducing first the challengers, wrestling out of Brooklyn, New York, and Toronto, Ontario, Canada, respectively. Mandy Leon and Angelina Love, the Allure.
There you see Mandy Leon, Angelina Love. Individual success has been everywhere they have gone. Caprice, with the revitalization of women's wrestling, it is a treat to see women's tag team wrestling. And here you see the best women's tag team in the world, maybe the best team in the world. We'll take it back to Bobby Cruz.
Their opponents are wrestling out of New York City and Detroit, Michigan, respectively. And they are the NWA Women's Tag Team Champions, Marty Bell and Allison Kay, the Hex.
Interesting to note about Allison Kay and Marty Bell, Caprice. We talked about their friendship during the tournament. However, they've said that they've only recently begun to team. We've done some research, we talked to them. They've only wrestled in championship matches. That's how good this team has become so quick.
So sometimes, Riccaboni, when you have chemistry, you have chemistry. And this right here is a result of good chemistry. And also good chemistry is the NWA Ring of Honor. Just saying.
There you go. So glad to be seeing the NWA talents here. We understand
right here with us
that we will be seeing more Ring of Honor talent in the NWA as well. And one talent that has been going back and forth, maybe the catalyst of this entire conflict, is Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green was somebody that's been targeted by the Allure. Chelsea Green, though, best friends with AK-47, Allison Kay, and Marty Bell. So for me, it's, you mess with my friends, you become my enemy. The Allure has not, they've been unrelenting in Chelsea Green's business as of late.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Chelsea Green can make phone calls like this to get this type of stuff between Chelsea Green and Maria, we're going to have a phenomenal women's division.
Mickey James as well. We want to give a shout out to Mickey James and Maria Kanellis, who have been working tirelessly to sign this bout. And we know that the Hex,
Are you messing with us already? We're watching you. We don't like you.
like we said, not only the best female tag team in the world, as evident by those titles, but I would put them right at the top of the line of any tag team, male or female.
You know what, I don't think the Allure is used to people with this much trash talk. Normally they're the one that are talking trash, trying to play the mental game, but it's almost like they're getting a taste of their own medicine. I want to see how they react to this.
The bell rings and we are off. Of course, the lineage of this tag team championship dates back to 1952. Kick to the midsection, Angelina Love and AK-47 Allison Kay starting things off. The first champions, Ella Waldick and Mae Young, were the first NWA Women's Tag Team Champions. Of course, Joyce Grable and Vicki Williams, and Joyce Grable and Wendy Richter, three-time champions. Often considered those two teams as the best teams ever.
You know, it's great to see. These teams held the titles for years.
Absolutely.
Like it wasn't like a 6-month reign. It was like 10-year reigns and stuff like that. That's the way the NWA was back then, with dominant teams.
You see Angelina Love going right to the arm here. Joyce Grable and Wendy Richter held the titles 1,418 days across 3 reigns. That's Briscoe style. But that's what tag team wrestling can be, male or female. And we're getting to see Angelina Love, and they're working on the arm. That's the arm she throws the lariat with, Caprice.
Yeah, Angelina Love, you know, despite her attitude, is one of the best women wrestlers in the world. She's gonna have a nice hip judo throw.
And going for the cross arm bar.
Yeah. She's gonna have a game plan coming in. That's just the type of person she is. Attitude and everything is, she's just sauce on top of a great wrestler.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Angelina Love, we often recognize her as a multi-time single champ.
I mean, a lot of the display of attitude that they're displaying is what the Allure is used to displaying. This is great.
But we'll see if Angelina Love can maintain her focus. We recognize her as a single champ. She's held the Impact Women's Tag Team Championships on a number of occasions, side headlock takeover, whether that was with the Beautiful People, or we think to her team with Winter, who we were supposed to have here in the Ring of Honor, the original quest for gold. We hope Winter is doing well. We know she's watching from across the pond.
That's what we mean by the experience that Angelina has. And she picks and chooses how she pulls things out. That's why I want to see her in this predicament where somebody is as evasive as she is and aggressive tones to see how she combats this.
Well, and she's usually, she has a lot of advantages that Allison Kay AK-47 negates. Allison Kay taller, Allison Kay a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
And those are the things that Angelina usually relies on. You see the six-pack, that abs. Angelina Love is one of the strongest pound-for-pound wrestlers in the world. And so to be in there with Allison Kay, who's even stronger, is even taller, who has the reach advantage, and the trash talk.
Yeah. She's going to have to reach deeper and find something else, find a way to win. And it's almost interesting enough that, you know, Mandy hasn't even been in the match yet.
And you see Marty Bell blowing a kiss. Blowing a kiss.
And to see Angelina in this much trouble, it's almost like watching your mentor be defeated in front of your eyes if she doesn't come out with another game plan. So I want to know how Mandy comes in, if Mandy gets an opportunity.
2 cover there.
Stay on it, Marty.
Marty Bell, don't let that $1 million smile fool you. She will hurt you if she has the opportunity.
Punch you in the mouth with a smile.
And the jawbreaker there sends Marty Bell into the corner. It's Mandy Leon of the Allure in for the first time. There's the clothesline. Wow, look at those forearms. Ooh, proud of her Dominican heritage. She says that's where this fighting comes from.
She went straight to the face.
2. Two New Yorkers in there, not afraid to brawl.
And I don't think Mandy's used to somebody being face-to-face with her right now.
Angelina!
And you see Angelina Love go for the throat here, charging in, big boot, and Marty Bell with a big elbow. And Angelina Love on the outside, Allison Kay trying to get on the inside. help her partner out. And there
you go.
is the veteran presence. Hooks the legs. 1 count there.
I can't even believe that I'm cheering for that.
Snapmare sends Marty Bell down. Mandy Leon. Oh, God, driving that boot into the shoulder, and a running mare. Hooking the leg.
There we go.
Front face lock here. Mandy Leon, the challengers. You talked about the home field advantage. You know, it is weird to talk about the Allure in terms of, you know, fighting as underdogs and almost finding a reason to root for them. We would like to see the NWA belts here in Ring of Honor. It would be a feather in our cap if one of our teams gets it. But we're just happy to have this great competition here as the Allure, driving the elbows down.
It's good to see the Allure work as a tag team as well. You normally see one on the outside, kind of talking junk, getting in the mind of the opponents on the inside of the ring, but to see them work together and work together well is good.
Angelina Love with the front face lock, looking to perhaps suplex Marty Bell. Instead, traps the ankle, inside cradle, gets a 2 count there. Ducks the clothesline. Bell rolling Angelina up. 2.
She had her high stacked on that one.
Gets the knee. And it's Angelina. Driving her down with a side suplex. Hooks the leg, tight cover, could be it. 2 count there.
See the way Angelina's staying with her, not letting her go, closing that space. Keeping her away from her tag team partner.
Tag made, quick tags. The frequency of the tags increasing, that you can tell the confidence building with the Allure in this NWA Women's Tag Team title contest. Delivers a chop front face lock here from Mandy Leon.
You see the confidence from the challengers coming out.
AK-47, the outstretched hand.
Marty, she's fighting, man. She's trying to push to that corner.
Trying to find a balance. And Angelina Love, and the tag is made.
Mandak didn't see it. Mandak did not see the tag.
And Allison Kay in long enough. And Mandak didn't see it, so she's got to get out of there.
Wow.
Referee can only call what he sees. And on the outside, the Allure looking to go to work on Marty Bell.
See, now the champions are frustrated because they're not home with the advantage, and they think this is being unfair. They think it's an unfair call. But Mandak's just doing his job. He didn't see it. It was visual that he didn't see that.
Sending Allison Kay now to the outside. Angelina Love. The legal women are Mandy Leon and Marty Bell, and Mandy delivers on to Marty. Wow, and Angelina Love takes down Allison Kay.
This is the momentum they need. They need to get someone in the ring and try to end this thing, become new champions.
And Mandy positioning Marty for something dangerous, for something violent on the outside here. Oh, wait a minute, Angelina's found Mandy. They have both champions. Irish whip, and clothesline send the challengers down on the outside.
It's like some rock and roll express stuff there.
And all 4 women are down. And you hear Mandy calling out for her partner.
Yeah, she's trying to find where she's at.
But it's AK up to her feet first with Marty Bell. Sending in the challenger, Mandy Leon. It's Marty Bell following her in. Looking to put her away here. 2.
The shoulder's causing her problems now.
Leads her back to her feet. Forearms delivered. Catches it. Sends her down. And Marty has the opening here.
Marty needs this, and Marty needs to make a tag.
Can she find Allison Kay? Can she get to the corner?
Tag
made to Angelina Love. And in comes Allison Kay. Knife edge chop delivers. Sends Allison Kay down. Big back elbow. Oh, Allison Kay has Angelina. Samoan drop. 2. Oh, shoulder up. Mandy in for safety. But it's Marty Bell in with Mandy.
Things are breaking down, Riccaboni. One mistake away from a winner.
And Marty Bell delivering the forearms here. But Mandy Leon takes the advantage. Open hands. And a neck breaker. No. It's Havana Dreams. And locking it in. His head scissor here. Reminiscent of Daphne here.
You're gonna have to see the heart of the champions here. Somebody's gonna have to break free. Marty's free.
Marty's loose. AK's the legal woman. She breaks up the submission. And AK-47 swings and takes down Manny Leon. Kick to the midsection here. Rolls through. Plants AK and again.
She needs to make a cover.
Taking a page out of the playbook of the late great Daphne there.
That shows how much trouble she's in. Not able to make the cover to capitalize. Now it's too late. It's too
Cover.
late now.
2.
Yeah. Man, you gotta imagine what would have happened if Angelina was able to capitalize on that impact maneuver to get a pin. Time may have elapsed for the challengers, and the champions are back in control.
And Marty Bell. Irish whip into Allison Kay. Uh-oh. Hex marks the spot.
Ooh.
Hex marks the spot.
That may have done it. Where is Mandy
Cover.
to break the pin? That's it.
The champions retain. Wow.
The winners of this match and still NWA Women's Tag Team Champions, the Hex.
I tell you what, there's no luck in these champions. They have just shown why they are the best female tag team in the NWA and possibly Ring of Honor. I would like to see them more, and I would like to see some more tag teams go against them.
Absolutely. You think of the champion Roxy here in Ring of Honor. We've seen her team with Quinn McKay. We've seen Max team up with a number of individuals.
I'd like to see Willow team up with somebody, man. That
True. What about Trisha Dora?
Willow and Trisha Dora. Yeah.
I mean, the teams are, the possibilities are limitless. Mandy Leon incensed at the loss. You know, sometimes when you lose a match, you just got to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Maybe it just wasn't your day. Today's day was the Hex. What a title defense here on Women's Division Wednesday. For Caprice Coleman, I'm Ian Riccaboni. Thanks for watching. Happy wrestling, everybody.
Okay, Maria, I have to say that I really appreciate two teams that are both so well versed in hitting hard and talking crap. Like, what a matchup. It's just so impressive to me. I don't think I've ever seen a team that could talk as much smack as the Allure.
Yeah,
I was impressed.
So I found this match incredibly interesting because both teams have a friendship with each other. So Mandy and Angelina have been friends for a while now. And then you have the Hex who've been friends for years. So, you know, these two teams, they have a lot in their friendship arsenal as well. And they have a lot of smack to talk because of all those years of being friends. And, you know, AK and Marty, they're not afraid of anyone. You know, some people get in the ring with the Allure and they're a little timid. You know, a lot of the division right now and a lot of women that are coming into Ring of Honor don't have the experience that the Allure does. But the Hex is different. They've got a lot of years in this industry. They've got a lot of wins under their belts. And so this was a different kind of match. And, you know, when the Allure got involved with Chelsea's match a few weeks ago, may or may not have put a call into Mickey right away and was like, would this be a possibility? And, we talked a couple more times after that, and we definitely thought that this would be a big match. And tonight, I feel like it overproduced.
I completely agree. And I think that there's something worth noting. Obviously, the tenure of Angelina Love is incredible. It's unparalleled. And her and Mandy have such incredible cohesion. And it's interesting as well that AK and Marty, though they've been friends for years and are very formidable opponents on the singles competition side, this was one of their maybe handful of matches together as a team. And that's so impressive to me.
5 or 6 match in as a team. But they know each other really well.
Exactly.
And when you know another person so well, it's like Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. For years they were friends. They used to wrestle each other all the time at different indie promotions. And then they became a tag team. But because they were such good friends, they were able to just come together and weave this amazing tag team together. And that's what the Hex has done. Great tag teams most of the time, not all of the time, are very close friends. And that's what you've seen tonight. Do I think that the Allure is going to take that loss well? No, I do not.
No. But it's kind of like the Hex said when the match was initially signed, that they don't like bullies. And I really think that they took umbrage to the fact that the Allure came out to ringside during Chelsea and Ashley Vox's match. Because we're going to touch on this a little bit later, but we don't know what they had in mind. Were they just, as they said, trying to welcome Chelsea? Or, could something else have happened if the Hex hadn't come into the picture?
So I don't know if you've seen Chelsea's backstage interview before her match with Ashley Vox, but, the Allure put themselves in that interview. They decided to insert themselves into Chelsea's business right off the bat. But I think it's a bit of jealousy. Chelsea she's wrestling everywhere. She has a huge fan base. She came in with a big name. And, when you're someone like Mandy Leon or Angelina Love, you're kind of looking at Chelsea and going, well, who do you think you are coming in here? And saying that you're going to run the show and put the division on the map and blah, blah, blah. And as Mandy has said before, like, they've been doing this for years. So, I think there was a bit of jealousy there. And I think it was a little bit of hazing, that the Allure was trying to stand their ground and say, this is my house and all this stuff. But Chelsea doesn't care about that. I mean, Chelsea's been in this industry for a long time too. And she doesn't want to play those games. And as she has said in her interview, she's just trying to wrestle and just wanting to wrestle and be the best wrestler. You come to Ring of Honor for that. And that's why, we had talked initially. I had talked with Chelsea initially, is after her years in other companies and at other places and not getting the opportunities that she wanted in WWE, she really wanted to come somewhere and wrestle. So here comes the Allure trying to gossip and bully and all this stuff. It's annoying. Like, some people just want to do their job. And, that was the conflict before the match. And then, of course, the Allure being the Allure, they wanted that spotlight again. So here they come walking. And this is every time I see them walking out, this is what I see. I just see, like, here I come, like penguins or something. And here we come down to the ring. And it's, it's like, why? Why must you insert yourself in that position again? And then, once you do that and that the Hex is backstage and that's their friend, they've known each other for years, like, you're bullying someone. That's not nice. The Hex isn't going to stand up for that, because not only is the Hex out there, they can out wrestle a ton of people. They are on top of their game. They look fantastic. They can smack talk, blah, blah, blah. They're nice people. Yeah. So, like,
on the top of that list,
they're lovely humans.
Yeah.
So they're gonna protect their friend. And that's what you've seen in this match tonight.
Protected their friend, protected the NWA Tag Team Championships, and shut down some bullies in the process. Well
Yes.
done to the Hex.
I hope this is the end, but I do not think it is.
I highly doubt it. But Maria, you touched on it before, and even just now, saying that there really is no door when it comes to Ring of Honor, and you want to welcome the best of the best right here. Don't know how much you can speak on this now, but is this match a sign of even more crossovers and partnerships with other companies to come?
Yes. And not just the women's division, but also the men's division. I may or may not have had a call today with another promotion. Breaking news, but so I did. I had another call with a different promotion. I was on Diva Dirt last week with Gail and Mickey, and we were talking about creating more opportunities for women together as a group. So this is constantly on my mind. I want to create as many opportunities as possible because I think that there's room at the top for everyone. And if not, we'll build more mountains. That's fine. So, I think that this is just the beginning. We now have a solidified division, and I think it's the best women's division in the world right now. And everybody wants to work with us. You've seen everybody tweeting Roxy when she won her championship. And yes, it was a congratulations, but it was a congratulations. And then in parentheses, in small print, can I wrestle you?
The big eyes, hello. Eyes on it.
I definitely, there's the fine print there, and that's good. That's what you want to see. That is, when you get those like blessings from upper echelon talent in different companies, it's great. And that's all the more reason to keep going out there and having match after match.
Well, excellent. And we're going to even talk about our ROH Women's Champion more as we go on. But as I said earlier in the show, we've had a few weeks off from Beyond the Bells. So I thought we could get into it with covering some of the action that we've seen on Women's Division Wednesdays over the past few weeks. So Roxy had, and this is actually part of ROH TV, but Roxy had her first in-ring interview as ROH Women's Champion with Brian Zane. And almost an entire roster's worth of potential challengers made themselves known. So you had to come out and kind of get things in order with a new plan.
So I have wondered for my entire career, and maybe no one else wonders this, but the champ comes out, says they're a fighting champ. Why is it only one person ever shows up to these things? Usually it's one person that comes out and is like, I got a problem. Well, the girls all prove me wrong or right or whatever by all coming out and saying, hey, I still want to be champ. Like, yes, I lost in the tournament, but I still want to be champ because this championship is everywhere now. And this championship is the most important championship in women's wrestling right now. So it's like, I was finally like, that makes sense. But we still had a show to run. So before chaos ensues and nobody can wrestle, I had to make a couple matches.
Yes. So as you had said, there will be 2 3-way matches. The winners will face before Final Battle, and then the winner of that match will face Roxy at Final Battle for the ROH Women's Championship. But then Roxy, as she was making her way out of the ring, was attacked by Miranda Alizé. So my question is, does handling this kind of madness just come with the territory for you? And how do you keep a level head when you're trying to rein in all this chaos?
I have 2 toddlers. So, I do it daily. I wrangle, and this morning, actually, my daughter was running around with my son's hair, like just trying. So this was a daily occurrence. So keeping a cool head, that comes with it. But I do have to manage expectations. That is a major part of my job. And when people are upset because they were embarrassed in front of their families, like Miranda was, I have to manage that expectation. And obviously she's going through a lot of stuff right now. And like, I don't know what all is happening. I don't know if it's just because, she lost the match, or it was because it was in front of her family, or what it was. But she definitely was upset. And she was upset enough that she ended up talking to Amy. And that woman is terrifying in her own right and what she's been capable of as a manager. But now she's associated with Max. So there is a lot going on with Miranda right now. And I'm hoping to get to the bottom of it. But at the same time, she is a tough competitor.
Yeah. She's incredibly talented, and you hate to see people, as you keep your cool, you hate to see people lose their cool in situations like that. So hopefully that can be settled. But moving on to our women's division Wednesdays that we've had, as we discussed it earlier in the show, we saw Chelsea Green versus Ashley Vox, which led to our NWA Women's Tag Team title match. Can we just talk about Ashley Vox's entrance before we get started? The real match, hooked to the camera. Adorable. I loved it. Amazing. And then had a great showing in the match.
She came up with that. She's an ultra creative person. She has studied in theater arts. So this is just part of her DNA. And I was so impressed with her. Okay, so I've known Ashley for a long time. I knew Ashley when she was training with Mike and Matt at their old wrestling school. And so to watch her grow as, this new up and coming individual to the beast that she is now, she just moves like she could kick somebody's ass. And I cannot wait until she just continues to grow as a wressler.
Yeah, her growth over the years has been incredible. And she had, honestly, a fantastic showing in the match against Chelsea. Now, then, as we said, Allure came to ringside. And yeah, we didn't know what their plans were, but they really could have thrown a major wrench in the works for either Chelsea or Ashley or both. Had the hex not.
Well, and the thing is, too, I feel a little bad for Ashley, too, because, Ashley's coming out, she's having this match, she's having a fantastic match, but then there's going to be that question mark at the end. Is that really the way it would have gone if, the Allure hadn't came out and all this shenanigans? Who knows? And that's got to irritate Ashley too, because these are the first showings that she's having in Ring of Honor. So it's how dare you take that moment from me a little bit?
But again, it's the Allure. So it's, their spotlight. Let's gravitate.
Here I come.
The penguin.
I'm coming out. I want to tell you something. Sure.
Well, and then speaking of other tag teams, we did have tag team action where we saw Lainey Luck and Alex Gracia against Holodead and Willow. It was a very, again, strong showing by the two-party Unicorn and the Pink Dream, but I have to say I was loving the odd couple of Holodead and Willow. Maria, what was your impression here?
I just kept thinking to myself, I got to get this team back. This
amazing.
It was, So one of my favorite tag teams I've ever seen in my life.
Have they discussed a potential name? Because it was such polar opposites, but they worked really, really well together. I feel like the positivity of Willow kind of balanced out the terrifying and twistedness of Holodead. I thought it was really nice.
Yeah, maybe it could be sunset and sunrise, or maybe the dark before the light, or
the light. Okay. The shadow before the dawn.
Yeah, we're getting
deadly
there.
Butterflies,
something.
I definitely hope that that's not the last that we've seen of Holodead and Willow together down the line somewhere, because that was fantastic. Oh, get the notepad. The first appearance in a few weeks of Maria's invisible notepad. They really were impressive together, and quite enjoyable dynamic between the two of them, for sure.
Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm. So then last week on Women's Division Wednesday, we got an encore of Willow being victorious over Angelina Love and Miranda Alizé. I was so excited for Willow. I tweeted about it, and Miranda kind of said, she was not over me. Not over me. I'm like, well, okay, technically she didn't pin you, but I think there's definitely still a little bitterness there from Miranda Alizé. But
I think there's a little something there.
Yeah.
But wow, Willow has something special. She just does.
Agreed.
She did in the tournament. But this also goes to show you that our division is so good that anybody could win on any given night. I love that. I love that they are all stars in their own right. They are just fantastic wrestlers. They all have different styles, and Willow had the right attitude. And, I don't know if it was a little bit of one-upsmanship or what it was between Angelina and Miranda that ended up, making the finish happen the way that it did. But, I think sometimes that happens where it's like you forget that, even though Willow didn't make it into the finals or even the final four, she is highly qualified to have been in the tournament.
And think about, too, the way things shake out. I mean, she had Allison Kay to go against. If it had been someone else, who knows how it could have turned out for Willow in the tournament. But but as you were saying, one-upsmanship between Angelina Love and Miranda Alizé, I think there were even some moments where it felt like Alizé and Love might have been teaming up against Willow. But still,
at the very beginning. Yeah, at the very beginning. They were definitely doing that. And I don't know, if that added to the issues at the end, but yeah, they were definitely at the beginning like, oh, we'll do this together.
Exactly. And then it's like, I think that the Babe with the Power really lived up to her moniker and just kind of showed all of this power, this resilience, this undeniable energy. And honestly, to celebrate her win, I think that everyone should check out the ROH Strong podcast where she was a guest and hear more about her journey and more about her story. But on the horizon, we do have the triple threat match between Trish Adora, Allison Kay, and Mandy Leon. One of those women is, potentially standing in the way of a ROH championship opportunity for Willow. So if I were in Willow's sparkly boots, I would really be considering which of those competitors that I would be hoping to face. I mean, they're all very formidable and pretty intimidating. So, I mean, where do you think Willow's mindset's at this point?
It's tough because, you've got Trish, who's she's such a technical wrestler. She is, she likes to take her time. She likes to figure people out. She always says she wants to be 3 moves ahead, as if she's playing chess. And then you have someone like AK who is, she hits hard.
Yeah.
AK hits hard. And then you have Mandy who plays the mind games. So, all 3 of them are different kinds of wrestler, but at the end of the day, no matter what, Willow is going to have a very tough match ahead of her. But the prize is a spot at Final Battle. And that is huge. And sometimes when you have such a big, momentous moment ahead of you, you just, you meet it. You meet that bar. You get up there somehow. And I think she's capable against all 3 of them. So we'll see which one it ends up being. And no matter what, that match leading into Final Battle is going to be incredible. And, I don't know if it will be Roxy that is still champ at Final Battle. But I have to say, if it is, Roxy is going to have a very tough match at Final Battle.
You are certainly right about that, Maria. And Willow had said in an interview after the match, after the triple threat, that she's just a happy kid, and we're going to see if she's going to stay a happy kid as these weeks go on. Now, so to put a very pretty little bow on this episode of Beyond the Bells, let's just review some of the news within the world of women's wrestling. As you had talked about, potentiality of Roxy still holding the ROH Women's Championship going into Final Battle. I mean, Roxy has had her first few title defenses already. So at New Texas Pro, put the title and also her New Texas Pro Women's Championship on the line against Killer Kelly. At Warrior Wrestling, she was a successful defense against another woman that we have seen featured on the ROH Women's Division, Lainey Luck. She went against Kenzie Page at Independent Wrestling Expo 6, Texas versus the World. And just over the weekend at Reality of Wrestling against Promise Braxton. So our Roxy did say that she would be a fighting champion. So are you proud of how the inaugural champ has been living up to that statement?
I am. I love that Roxy's getting out there. I also love that our title is getting out there. The name Ring of Honor is getting out there. We've always been, the name in having the very best wrestlers in the world. And so Roxy is having the opportunity to prove that. And I think it's so cool that Ring of Honor is allowing her to go out there and defend her title everywhere. Because that's a tough thing. You don't know who might end up with the title then. You have to hunt them down.
Excuse me. We need you for final battle.
So it's a terrifying thing to say, go ahead, defend it everywhere. But it's important because in the current climate, not having live shows with Ring of Honor right now, except for the pay-per-views, it's important that she's out there getting those reps in and really being a fighting champ and not just saying she is. I believe in reality within wrestling, and this is the reality. She's a fighting champ, and the reality is she will defend it everywhere. And that's really important to me. It's really important to her too.
And I think it's so incredibly impressive that amidst everything, not even just the exertion of having these matches, the traveling and the schedule of pretty much every weekend Roxy is in action. So it's really impressive to not only see the title traveling, but to see the champ carrying it along the way.
Yes,
so now you had touched on pay-per-views and talking about live events, and there were some really huge live events across some major television companies, as well as now we have Zelina Vega winning the Queen's Crown tournament, and Bound for Glory, Mickie James became the new Knockouts champion. What a moment.
What can't that woman do? She is incredible.
Absolutely incredible. It's such an impressive match. And then the inspiration, new Knockouts tag team champions, Jordan Grace, new digital media champion, and then AEW revealing brackets for the TBS Women's Championship tournament. There is so much buzzing in the world right now. It's incredible.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm also looking towards what WOW is going to be. I'm looking towards what the featherweight division is going to be in MLW. So there are so many really cool opportunities for women out there. And, some people get very this is my company only. No, watch it all. Because I would love if there was an opportunity for all of these champs to get in the ring together. And I would love to see who is the very best. And that is the game that I like to play. I don't like to play the game of who did it first, or, I won't watch that. I like to do the game of who is the very best wrestler in the world. And that's so cool to me to think about. And congratulations to the inspiration. They just started to touch on what they could do when they were in WWE. And now, hopefully, crossing my fingers, they're going to be able to show everybody what they really can do. And I think that Jordan Grace, she's incredible. Oh my gosh. And just the work that she puts in. I can't wait to see, how she grows with that title. So all of these different opportunities are so cool to watch. And I really hope that throughout all of this, people can be oh, I didn't know this person was out there. Oh, I didn't. And now this person's my favorite wrestler, or I really connect to so-and-so. That's cool to me. I don't know. Sometimes I get all emotional and because it's a really cool time in wrestling. Like all these opportunities are really what we fought for many, many years ago. And they are starting to happen now. And it is women that are at the forefront of the industry that is making some of these opportunities happen, like a Gail Kim, like a Mickey James. So these things, they're happening, and I'm all for it.
And speaking again, I totally even slipped my mind until now. Legends of the business, Awesome Kong getting inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame. Like the Trailblazers are having their moments, and things are coming to fruition in all of these different companies. It is so incredibly thrilling of a time. But speaking of gold, we have other competitors we've seen in the women's division Wednesday matches in the women's division of Ring of Honor defending their own titles in promotions across the independent scene as well. So Allison Kay defended her AAW Women's Championship at AAW in Chicago. Trish Adora defended the Pan-African World Diaspora Championship at Beyond Wrestling's Uncharted Territory. And just this past weekend at Don't Fear the Reaper, Holidead became the new Mission Pro Wrestling champion. And then we have coming up on Halloween, the relaunch of Shimmer, plus our own resident professional badass, Lufisto, is slated to face Jordan Grace at Destiny Wrestling's Raising Hell. So it's so many exciting things.
Before and like,
yes.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait for that match.
People are in for a trick or treat. and then thank you. Last week, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated 2021 Women's 150 issue was also released, and the PWI Women's 150 list featured so many of the competitors that we have seen in the Ring of Honor Quest for Gold tournament. Plus, it highlighted talent on the top of their game from all over the world. People, competitors in Stardom, in all major companies, all over the place. That I think that sometimes it brings to light talent that if you're in like the tunnel vision of just one company or just like three companies, these are talents that are topping in the top handful of the list, and people had no idea. So this is opening a lot of eyes to maybe, as you had said before, new talent that they weren't familiar with before that is really killing it out there.
Yeah, no, I thought the list itself for this year, more than a lot of other years, really represented the talent that is out there right now. And maybe it's because I'm so closely connected to everyone now, but I just I got excited seeing names like Alex Gracia. I got excited seeing Willow continue moving up the list. I got excited for Trish because she was so high up on the list. And for Trish, she's never worked in, a major promotion before this year. So that's kind of a choose your own adventure kind of term of major promotion anymore. That doesn't necessarily it's not the same as it used to be, I guess is the best way to put it. So, for someone to make a name for themselves and to be so high up on the list, without the big machines, that's really cool. And Rock did very well. I think she was somewhere in the 30 range. So everybody, everybody that was in the tournament pretty much was on that list. And I can't wait to see them all, continue to grow on that list as well.
Yeah, the sky is the limit. And also in that issue, there is an in-depth look at the new Ring of Honor Women's Division. So be sure to check it out as well, my friends. So that brings us to the end of our episode for today. And we really cannot wait to see you all again for another episode of Beyond the Bells. But in the meantime, make sure that you are keeping up with all the latest news by following Ring of Honor on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, which you're watching us right now, and The Experience on Facebook. And I want to thank you again, my friends, for celebrating another wonderful Women's Division Wednesday with us. Maria, any final words for our friends at home?
I don't think so. It's just so good to be back with you. I think one thing I would like to say is if you haven't checked out Tag Me in United, definitely check it out. I think it's a fantastic cause to bring awareness to mental health. And I just thought the video and everybody coming together that was in that video that was a part of it it got me as well. And I knew this video was coming together. I knew a lot of the names that were going to be a part of it, but to hear their stories, it really makes you feel like you're not alone. And if you have any stories as a fan or as a wrestler that's watching this, please tag us in and share your story, or just know that somebody's out there.
You're certainly not alone. And I want to thank you, Maria, for being on this episode with me, for chatting with me tonight, and to all of our friends at home, for Maria Canales, and to all of our friends at home, for Maria Canales Bennett, I'm Alyssa Marino, and we will see you next time on Beyond the Bells.